Good morning, students. Today I'm going to start the balance sheet of a company. It is the first chapter of part B. As we have discussed in the class 11, the asset is equal to liabilities in the balance sheet. But here we are going to make the balance sheet in the vertical format. In the class 11, we have discussed in the horizontal format. On the left hand side liability, on the right hand side asset. But in class 12, we're going to study the balance sheet in the vertical format, and here we will follow the concept capital plus liability is equal to asset. Now I'm going to explain the various heads and subheads of the balance sheet. The first one is that you have to prepare the balance sheet as at 31st March, whatever the date of the company name, and it is a format particulars, note number, current year figure and the previous year figure. The note number column is very important. In this, the detailed description about the various item we will show. So let's start. The first one is equity and liabilities. As we know that equity means the owner's fund or shareholder funds, and liabilities, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. The first head is shareholder fund. Shareholder fund, as we have discussed in the ratio chapter also, the fund, the amount which is invested by the shareholder. Under this head, there are three different subheads. The first one is share capital. In this one, if we'll put the note number 1, then detailed description of note number 1. In the detailed description, in the note number 1, we'll find the authorized share capital, issued share capital, fully called up, not called up. All the detailed description we will give in the note, and here we will give the only the final figure. Reserve and surplus, it is also come under the shareholder fund. Under this item we will get the general reserve, balance of statement of profit and loss, DRR, etc. The third one is money received against share warrant. For the time it is no use in the class 12, it is only the given in the format. So if the question will come, prepare the balance sheet in the proper format, then you have to mention this one. Otherwise, while doing the question, no need for doing this one. The second one is share application money pending allotment. This is also of no use, but when the question will come, prepare the balance sheet format, then the proper sequence you have to write it down. Share capital means the authorized share capital, issued, subscribed, fully paid up, subscribed but not fully paid up. The reserve and surplus, what items will come reserve and surplus, DRR, debenture redemption reserve, capital redemption reserve, general reserve, securities premium. The next one is the non-current liabilities. Non-current liability means it is a head under which different subheads are there. The first one is long-term borrowing. Long-term borrowing means the loan which we have taken in the form of cash for the long period of time, which is more than 1 year, like loan taken from bank, debentures will come under the long-term borrowing. Deferred tax liability, it is also the part of non-current liabilities, but in the class 12 it is questions will not come from this one. Other long-term liabilities. What is the other long-term liabilities? The other long-term liabilities, suppose we purchase the machine in the installment. So here we are purchasing the machine on the installment of more than 1 year. So it will come under the other long-term liabilities. But here the long-term borrowing means we are receiving the cash in the form of loan, or we are issuing the debenture and we get the cash. But here other long-term liabilities, suppose we purchase the machine of rupees 20 lakh and the amount of rupees 20 lakh will pay in the installment. So it will come under the long term liabilities. In this one, the cash will not come in the business, okay, but in the long term borrowing, the cash will come in the business. Long term provision, the provision which is made for more than 1 year, like we prepare the provision for employee provident fund, and this provision which we will use in more than 1 year, so it will come under the long term provision. Now the fourth head is current liabilities. Short term borrowing. Short term borrowing means the when we borrow the money for a short period of time, like short term loan taken from bank uh, for 12 months, which we have to pay within a year. Trade payable, as we know that trade payable, it includes the creditor and bills payable. The next one is other current liabilities. What is other current liabilities? The liabilities which we have to pay within a year, but it will come under the other current liabilities, like advance taken from customer which we have to pay within a year, outstanding expense, unpaid dividend of the current year, it will come under the current other current liabilities. So as we know, the creditor is the current liability, but here the creditor will come under the subhead trade payable and head is current liabilities. Like short term loan, short term loan is also a current liability, but it will come under the subhead short term borrowing. Now next one is short term provision, the provision which we made for a short period of time, and it can be used for the current accounting period, like provision for tax, provision for doubtful debt, it is also come under the short term provision. So this is heads: shareholder fund, share application money pending allotment, non-current liabilities, and current liabilities, it is the head, and it is the subhead of shareholder fund: share capital, reserve and surplus, money received against the share warrant, it is the head and it is the subheads, it is the head and it is the subheads, it is the head and it is the subhead. Now in the next, we are going to explain the asset side.